Hi guys, my name is Miller and welcome back to a Season Max Tunes video of Season 93. In this series I go over the various tunes for the most important cars of the season, including a Stage 5 tune to help you with the Prestige Cup. For this season that will be the Vuhl 05RR, the Portofino, which will have the Stage 5 tune, the Best of British TVR Sagaris, the Bugatti Centodieci and the special Bugatti Supersport 300, which might become the fastest car in CSR2. For each car I will also give a little bit of background info so you can be smartest to your friends and tell them some facts. But to avoid to make the video too long, I will try my hardest to keep it short. Timestamps for each car can be found down below. Before I start, I always like to make two things clear. First of all, I'm no pro tuner or shifter. For cars that already have records, I try to get as close as possible, ideally within 5,000ths of a second. For new cars, I try my best tune to set a certain benchmark. Second then is that I would like to thank Natural Motion for providing me the cars with the upgrades on my dummy account to make this video possible. Now let's get into it. To start off, like usual, the milestone car, the Vuhl 05RR, a quite peculiar car based on the principle of medium performance on a very lightweight body. What exactly the word Vuhl means I have no idea, but they seem to only have produced two models, the 05 and the 05RR, where the RR is a more racetrack focused version with a more powerful engine, putting the performance up from 360 horsepower to 400, with the weight being reduced from 695 kilograms to 660 kilograms. But what baffles me the most is that the carbon monocoque on its own weighs under 78 kilograms, which is less than the average male. This little car is really completely track focused, and something that really puts the stamp on that is a GT3 style rear wing. In my opinion, from the various B segment style cars, this is the model that looks the most like an actual car. In my season video, I mentioned this RR was released of the Race of Champions of last year, but I wasn't fully correct on that one. The car was released already in 2016 on the Goodwood Festival of Speed as a prototype, but last year at the Race of Champions in Mexico, a production ready model was presented. As for performance in game, it is the fastest of the cars I consider in the same theme, being the BAC Mono, the Donkervoort and the KTM Crossbow. It just pips the D8 as the fastest, but I think it can go a lot faster, because there's still lots of room for improvement. Here is a tune and my best run. The Portofino, the baby between the GTC4 Lusso and the California, because it has the body of the Cali and the brains of the Lusso. It is kind of on its own, no focus on hard track performance like we have with the Pista, but more on how nicely you can drive it by the beach while still having a rather strong heart. In case you did not know, the name refers to a very nice small town in Italy, which is in the province of Genoa. It was the first time Ferrari referred to an Italian town or village that had no direct correlation to the history of the brand or the company's origin. What makes this car so special is Ferrari's known craftsmanship and provided quality. When you want to buy one of these, you actually get endorsed in the world of Ferrari, where the buyer can choose the various high-end materials to really personalize the car, almost like it's fully tailored. During the 2019 Geneva Motor Show, behind the Ferrari facade, there was a special booth with a Portofino standing in the middle, having the walls all around filled with various kinds of leather, different colors, and all the things you can think of to completely personalize the car to make it a unique quality fit. In-game, the Portofino performance is a little bit disappointing, but it does make sense on the other hand. It is slower than the GTC4 Lusso but faster than the F12. Maxed out, it can run an 8.594, my best time was an 8.599. Here is the tune and the shift pattern. For the Stage 5 tune, less explanation. With the Prestige Cup having a final time of a 10.1, you will need some Stage 6 upgrades, because at best I could reach a 10.9, which for a Tier 5 on Stage 5 is rather slow to my surprise. Tune and pattern. On to the event cars, and first the best of British with the TVR Sagaris, really short on this one. TVR had quite some popularity in the UK, at some point it even was the third largest specialized sport car manufacturer in the world. They were in the same league of Porsche during their golden days and had some great cars coming out like the Tasman, the Griffith and the Cerbera. But the company never really kept the traction going. The small production lightweight handmade cars had sometimes the reputation of not having a great build quality, but they were cars that must have been fun to drive as the focus really laid within the driving experience. There were even statements made by the CEO of safety features not being included, as that would make the driver overconfident. TVR hasn't released any new models since 2004, but there have been pictures and speculations of the new Griffith coming out later this year, which could mean perhaps TVR coming back with a new model into the game. Back to the Sagaris now. The Sagaris is a very light car that came into production in 2004. At first sight it looks like, yes, a sports car indeed, but it weighs only 1075 kilograms, which caught me by surprise. Performance wise, in game it can run at 10.105 according to the record, making it the 4th fastest tier 4 car. Tune and run. Next up is the Bugatti event that popped up on the map today, and first I will give some information about the Centodieci. Centodieci is Italian for 110, or like said in French, 110, but I'm not sure if it refers to 110 years celebration or the EB 110, or maybe both. Design wise, you can find some design points that you can directly recognize from the EB, like the small style horseshoe at the front with a specific grille design. But other than that, it really looks something alien-like. That's at least to me the case, but that was probably what people said as well about the EB when it was released in 1991. I really like the modern take to the car, with some design features taken from the Chiron, the Voiture Noire and the Divo, with the roots going back to the EB, but all powered by Bugatti's new iconic W16. Design-wise, there are also other references to the EB, like for example the 5-round intakes on the side resembling from the ones we see on the Supersport. But also the fact that the rear wing is completely integrated to a body, making it like a small hint to the EB 110SS, which had the same permanently attached rear wing. Also nice reference is that each model will be seen as 1 out of 10, again referring to the 110. You will be able to win this car through the showdown by reaching 1200 trophies, and a special blue version, which does not exist in real life, can be won by reaching the top 1000. By the way, did you know that on the website of Bugatti they are using the CSR2 model of the Centodieci to display the car? How amazing is that? Performance wise, it will be the 3rd fastest Bugatti in game with a 7.125 best time from my end, but of course open to improvements. Tune and best run. On to the final one for today, and I know it's been a long video, but this one will be fully worth it. The Bugatti Chiron Supersport 300, the first production car to hit the 300 mph milestone and a trendsetter for many. This is a really astonishing car. It's not just a Chiron with a simple remodeling, it's been fully modified to reach such speeds. The first thing that we notice is the extended bodywork. The backhand is just so much longer. It is aerodynamically optimized for such high-speed performance, and it's also a more aggressive design overall. The body is extended by a total of 25 cm to really create a long tail kind of vehicle, allowing the laminar flow to pass over the longer surface, reducing aerodynamic stall. One of the things that pops out as well is the massive diffuser and the special exhaust placement. They both help to generate a negative lift, reducing the drag overall. It really is a masterpiece if you think about it. The Supersport is not just streamlined, it also has a stronger engine. It still carries the 8-liter W16 layout, but it produces a total of 1600 brake horsepower. 100 more than the Chiron, which is kind of crazy numbers we are talking about here. I also heard a small fact, not sure if it's true, but that the needle on the speedometer is actually stuck at 300. It's up to you then to check in AR if it's actually real. In game it has potential to become the fastest car, because the dyno hits a 6.935 and the current fastest time clocked in game is a 6.934 set for the Tuatara. But knowing Bugatti, dynos are rather hard to reach. However, I was able to run a 6.942 and I'm kind of a rookie at this, so perhaps with better runs they might be able to beat that 6.934 record time. But it won't be by too much. Here's a tune and my best run. It really is a damn fast car. So that is it for today. 2 very solid cars, 1 free to get by reaching 1200 trophies, but overall kind of a nice season. Looking forward to the launch of the finale on Monday. I will close off for real now. Sorry for keeping you guys so long in here. If you enjoyed the video, do not hesitate to leave a like. Subscribe for more content like this. My name is Mille. See you around and keep racing.